What's going on, guys? It's Brandon with swolldaddydetroit.com, and today we are doing yet another update. We are only 3 weeks out from my first ever men's physique NPC competition that's coming up in Grand Rapids on May 21st, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so this week is a little bit different than all the previous weeks in my prep because this week I decided to start implementing carb cycling. So this is the first time I've ever paid attention to carb intake and fat intake. I mean, basically with carb cycling, you're still kind of keeping your fats low. They're not really moving. And then your kind of minimum protein, which for me is about that 1 gram per lean body weight, is also not really, well, it's not changing on certain days of the week, let's say. So basically the whole carb cycling thing has been kind of interesting, but I talked to a few people, I did a bunch of research on it, and so I decided, you know what, for these last 4 weeks, let's kind of implement it. And I think I ended up not starting it until Tuesday, but basically there's a few different ways that you can do carb cycling. The way that I chose to do it to make it easy on myself is basically 2 days a week, which is going to be Wednesdays and Saturdays. We're going to have the high carb day to recarb, kind of refeed and all that good stuff. And then the other 5 days, we will have the low carb or basically no carbs, right? Trying to limit those carbs to about 40 grams or less. So the way that it was kind of working out, so Sunday to Tuesday is going to be the low carb day, Wednesday high carb, which also that's my leg day. So it's kind of a good thing in the morning. I can kind of carb up, go have a good leg day. And then same thing, Thursday, Friday, low carb. Saturday is going to be high carb again, which again, that's my second leg day of the week. So the timing it works out really well. What I've found this week, kind of sticking to it, hasn't been too bad. You definitely, when you get to the high carb days, like today's Saturday, it's going to be a high carb day. So I'm looking forward, to eating a bunch of carbs, and it's going to be awesome. But basically the way that I've been doing it is on the low carb days, I'm trying to get pretty low on calories. It's been staying around like 1,600, 1,700-ish. Actually, yesterday I think I was a bit higher, like 1,800. But on Tuesday and Thursday, I did stay, I think, around that 1,650, 1,750. I'll post it up here so you guys can see it. But basically on the low carb days, protein is really, really high, like 250, 270 grams. And we're trying to still keep the fats, limited to, say, 15 to 30 or 40, the lower the better. And then carbs were really, really low, right? Trying to keep it around 40. I think that first day I didn't do a good job. I ended up eating a banana and I was at 60 grams or something, but still pretty low. And then on the high carb days, we're getting that protein, scaling it back to just around 200 grams, just the body weight that we need. And then same thing, fat staying stationary, but now carbs are going up to 250, 270 grams. So it's been kind of interesting. It actually kind of gave me something to look forward to this week with the changes. And now, having this kind of specific, having to look at these specific macros, it's also forced me this week. I'm kind of planning my meals the day ahead. So, okay, we cooked, turkey meat today and we're going to have leftovers. So I'm kind of making sure tomorrow that, I'm lining everything up. So in the morning, I don't have to think about it. Everything's just in there, ready to go. I already have my total calories kind of tallied for the day. And it makes it pretty simple. So it shouldn't be too bad. There's 3 weeks left till the competition. That final week's going to be peak week, which will be a little bit different because we're going to carb deplete for like 4 days prior to the show. So it's basically just 2 more weeks of this. So it's not too much, but what's really interesting this week, and energy's still been pretty good. For cardio update, I've been doing about an hour this week. It would have been more, but it's been kind of chilly outside, so I haven't been able to ride my bicycle to the gym. So I've basically just been, doing like a 15, 20-minute warm-up, which is usually like 200, 250 calories. Usually that's been on the stair stepper, and then I'll train, and then I do about 45 minutes, which ends up being about 500 calories after my training. So trying to get in around like 750 calories according to the machines at my specific gym. Just so I kind of have, a way to gauge, right? So I really like to still be doing that, plus have at least the 30 minutes of cycling to the gym to give me some kind of extra. So that'll give me about an hour and a half of cardio. Now last week on Sunday, after I filmed, Since I wasn't training on Sunday, Sunday is not a lifting day, I was able to take my bike and I did like almost a 2-hour, 20-mile bike ride. So that was a lot of fun. That was awesome. It was beautiful last weekend, like 80 degrees both days. So we can't beat that. This weekend's going to actually be pretty nice. Tomorrow, though, we're going to have some rain. So I'm hoping tomorrow afternoon I can get on the bike and get a couple hours of nice cardio in. But the biggest thing this week is when I stepped on, today I stepped on the scale for the InBody scanner. And let me just show you guys the results because I was pretty blown away. All right, so again, we're taking this with a grain of salt, right? Because, you know, it's not probably super completely accurate, right, every time. But basically, weight went down, which was good. We expected that. I knew all week I'd been staying around like 195. This morning I was 194 at home. And so by the time I got to the gym and drank a bunch of water and had some clothes on, I was 197.5. Now the cool part is I've been really, really worried all week with the lower calories that I might be losing muscle mass, but actually looks like lean muscle, you know, if anything, it's gone up, right? So that's great. So we're still trending in the right direction. And then the body fat, this is what's kind of hilarious. So, okay, guys, obviously we did not lose 3.6% body fat in a week, right? It's impossible, especially, you know, at the level that I'm doing it at. I'm not even doing a ton of cardio or anything. So again, grain of salt, but I'll take it for what it is. Yeah, obviously carb cycling must be working, right? But, you know, I don't think we lost 6 pounds of body fat. Like last week, this was like 11 or 12 pounds or something, or 14 pounds. So, you know, I don't think that that's really what's going on here, but we're trending in the right direction, which is all that matters. And also when I look in the mirror, I mean, almost every day, or at least every couple days now, because I'm getting so lean, you're able to really see the differences almost day by day. It's kind of amazing. You always hear about it, but you know, it's like I can just see, you know, more of the obliques coming in, more striations everywhere. So it's pretty cool. So calories wise, basically, like I was starting to tell you guys earlier, so 1600 to say 1800 on the low carb days. And then I think on the high carb day, I was right at like 1950. And then today, kind of my plan is again to be around 2000 calories. So I'm kind of thinking between like the 2000 twice a week. And then if I can stay around, say 1700 for those other 5 days, it'll kind of average out maybe close to 1800. And then we can kind of see how we need to ramp it down. But at this point, I'm pretty happy with the way everything's starting to look. Of course, since I used to be 300 pounds, I do still have some extra skin, some loose skin down at the bottom. But there's just a little bit of fat that's kind of just covering those bottom abs, you know. So we've got to get that gone. There's still some fat in the lower back too. You know, I mean, of course, there's some extra skin, but there's still some fat in there. So those are going to be the last to go. You know, I mean, everything else, like when I'm at the gym with a pump, it just, my arms especially, like just look freaking crazy with all the veins popping out. It's really weird to see. You know, like 2 years ago, I'd never seen a vein in my body. You know, it was crazy. And so last year, as I got leaner and the vascularity started to come in, it's been really, really kind of cool to see that. And especially now, like there's veins just running across everywhere, popping out. It's wild. So very exciting to see the process, and I'm just super stoked to see where this final form will be, especially once we get spray tanner on and peak week happens and, you know, we get dried out from not drinking water. Hopefully that tightens the skin up and makes everything look a little bit better. Yeah, so right now I'm enjoying the process, and I'm also just thinking in my mind, there's 21 days left, and then this will finally be over because, guys, it's been 15 weeks. We started this prep 18 weeks out, so it's been 15 weeks. This already right now has been probably the longest I've ever gone without drinking since I was probably 18, you know, something like that. So shout out to all you ladies out there that can go 9 months, you know, without drinking, because it's difficult too, especially, you know, when you have your friends are over and they're having some drinks, and you know, my wife, she likes to have some wine and stuff, and it's been difficult, especially now it's getting warmer out. Today's going to be beautiful. It's tough, right? So, but the payoff, I think, is going to be worth it. And again, we can check this off the bucket list for something that I've always wanted to get done. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll check in again next week. We'll only be 2 weeks out, and we'll see how it's all going and looking. But until then, guys, take care, share, like, subscribe, check out some of the other videos, and definitely go on to Amazon. It's just amazon.com/swolldaddy, and check out the wrist straps. We also have some new products that should be in the warehouse in a couple weeks. We're gonna have some hats and what else did I order? Just hats and a bunch of new colors of straps and wraps that'll be dropping. So I'll update that stuff on Instagram too. But also, yeah, definitely check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Swole Daddy. Take care.